Have you ever found yourself staring at your phone, watching those three little dots appear and disappear as you wait for a reply that never comes? Or maybe you've sent a heartfelt message, a quick check-in, a simple "how are you?" and all you're met with is silence. It's a feeling we've all faced at some point, that creeping doubt in the back of your mind. Are they too busy? Or am I just not that important to them? At first, you tell yourself it's just a fluke. Maybe they're going through something tough. Maybe they didn't see your message. Maybe, just maybe, they'll get back to you when they have a moment. But as time stretches on, and the gap between you grows wider, those excuses start to sound hollow. The silence becomes deafening. You start to wonder, did I say something wrong? Or is it something deeper, something that has nothing to do with you at all? The truth is, when someone doesn't care about you, the signs are there. They're not always obvious at first, but they're there in the little ways they stop showing up. It's not just about forgetting to text back or missing a call here and there. Life happens to all of us, and we can't always be available. But when you're always the one making the effort, when you're the one carrying the weight of the conversation and the relationship, you start to see it for what it really is. Because when someone truly cares, it doesn't take much for them to show it. It's in the small gestures, the quick just checking in text, the "hey, I was thinking about you" call, the smile that says, "you matter to me." They'll find a way to let you know that even in the chaos of their own life, you still have a place in their thoughts. They'll meet you halfway, not just because you asked them to, but because they want to. But when you're the only one trying, when you're constantly met with silence or half-hearted excuses, it starts to chip away at you. You begin to feel invisible, like your presence doesn't matter, like you're just a shadow in someone else's life. It's a quiet kind of hurt, the kind that makes you question your worth. And let me tell you, just because they don't see your value doesn't mean it's not there. It just means they're not willing to make space for it. When communication starts to fade, when you feel like you're talking into the void, it's not just about the missed messages. It's about what that silence really says. I don't care enough to make an effort. And that's a hard truth to accept. But here's something even harder: if they don't notice your absence when you pull back, if they don't even realize you've stopped reaching out, that's when you know. You know you've been holding on to someone who was never holding on to you. It's not about grand gestures or perfect words, it's about showing up, even in the smallest ways. People who care, they'll make you feel seen. They'll let you know you matter. And those who don't, well, they'll let their silence speak louder than any excuse ever could. So as we begin this journey together, I want you to remember one thing: your worth isn't measured by someone else's inability to see it. In the next part, we're going to uncover the first of these subtle signs, these quiet actions that reveal so much more than words ever could. They don't initiate contact. And when you're the one reaching out, it feels like you're pulling teeth just to get a response. You find yourself always being the first to say hello, the first to ask how they're doing, the first to bridge that gap. And in the beginning, you might tell yourself it's just a phase. Maybe they're dealing with something heavy. Maybe they're distracted. Or maybe they just don't realize how much you care, how much effort you're putting in to keep the connection alive. But as time goes on, that silence begins to echo in your mind. It becomes more than just a missed message or a delayed reply. It becomes a pattern, a habit that you can't ignore anymore. Because when someone really cares about you, they find ways, however small, to let you know you matter. Even in the middle of their own busy lives, they make space for you. They check in, they send a quick message, they reach out just to say, "Hey, I'm here." But when someone doesn't care, it's different. They don't think about you when they're out living their lives. They don't pause to wonder how you're doing or what you might be going through. They don't feel the need to send that message, make that call, or see how your day has been. It's not that they're forgetful, it's that you're not a priority for them. They don't see your presence as something worth maintaining, so they let the silence grow. And that's what hurts the most. Because in that silence, you start to feel like you're not worth the effort. Like you're just an afterthought, a fleeting moment in their world that they don't care enough to hold on to. You start to question your place in their life. You wonder if you're just imagining things, if maybe you're asking for too much. But you're not. You're just asking for the basics: respect, care, and the simple act of someone showing up. It's easy to get caught up in excuses. To tell yourself they're busy, they're overwhelmed, they're going through a lot. And sure, we all have our moments where life gets in the way. But when it's only ever you reaching out, if you decide to step back and see what happens, they probably won't even notice. Or if they do, they might think you're the one who doesn't care anymore. They'll flip the script, acting as if you're the one who disappeared, when the truth is, you were just tired of being the only one trying. The silence can be louder than any argument, more painful than any harsh word. It makes you feel small, invisible, like you're talking into a void. And over time, that silence can start to chip away at your self-esteem. You start to wonder if you're even worthy of someone's time, of someone's care. But let me tell you this, their lack of effort doesn't define your worth. Their silence isn't a reflection of your value, it's a reflection of how they see relationships, and of how little they're willing to give. People who truly care about you won't let you feel like you're the only one trying. They'll find ways, however small, to remind you that you matter. A quick call to hear your voice. A text to say they're thinking of you. Even just a moment to let you know you're not alone. It's not about being available 24/7, it's about showing up when it matters. And if they're not willing to do that, if they're not even trying, it's time to face the truth. You deserve so much more than someone who can't be bothered to care. So let's keep going. In the next part, we'll explore how someone's actions, far more than their words, will always tell you everything you need to know about how they truly feel. When you care about someone, you don't just say it, you show it. Your actions and your words work together, hand in hand, to create a sense of trust, of security, of being valued. But when someone doesn't truly care about you, their words and actions don't match. They might tell you what you want to hear, soft promises and sweet reassurances, but when it's time to follow through, they vanish. They disappear like smoke, leaving only empty echoes behind. Think about the last time someone promised to be there for you. Maybe they said they'd call you back or help you with something important. Maybe they told you they'd be there for you when you needed them most. In that moment, you believed them. You wanted to believe them. But when the time came, they didn't show up. They had excuses, they had reasons, but none of it changed the fact that their words were just that, words. And that's where the truth starts to reveal itself. Because it's easy to say the right thing, to make promises in the heat of the moment. But actions require effort. They require intention. They require someone to care enough to put those words into motion, to turn them into reality. When someone doesn't care, their actions will never match their words. They'll tell you everything you want to hear, just enough to keep you close, to keep you hoping. But when it comes time to show up, to prove their care in a real, tangible way, they're nowhere to be found. It's a kind of betrayal that doesn't need harsh words or cruel gestures to cut deep. It's in the constant cycle of disappointment, of waiting for someone who never comes, of giving them chance after chance, only to be let down every single time. Each broken promise chips away at your trust, leaving cracks in the foundation of your relationship. And after a while, those cracks become canyons wide, empty spaces where love and respect used to live. The saddest part is that it doesn't even take grand gestures to show you care. It doesn't require extravagant plans or perfect words. It's in the little things, the simple text that says, I'm thinking about you. The effort to ask how your day went. The small moments of showing up when it matters most. When someone cares, they find a way to make you feel seen, to make you feel like you matter in their life. They don't just talk about caring, they prove it. But when someone doesn't care, it's always the same story. They'll cancel plans at the last minute, leaving you feeling like an afterthought. They'll promise to call and never follow through. They'll say they're there for you, but when you need them, you're met with silence or indifference. And each time they let you down, it hurts a little more. You start to question if you're asking for too much, if maybe you're the one who's overreacting. But you're not. It's not about being demanding or unreasonable. It's about the basic truth that when someone values you, they show up. They don't just say they care, they prove it in 100 small ways. And when they don't, it's a sign that their words were never meant to be more than that, empty promises, spoken to make themselves feel better or to keep the peace in the moment. It's hard to accept. It's hard to let go of the hope that maybe, just maybe, they'll come through next time. But here's what you need to remember. You deserve more than words. You deserve more than hollow promises that leave you feeling like you're chasing something that was never real to begin with. You deserve someone whose actions match their words, someone who doesn't make you question whether you're worth the effort. So as you look back on these moments, on the times they said one thing and did another, don't brush it off. Don't tell yourself it's not a big deal, because it is. It's the clearest sign of all that they don't see your value, that they're not invested in the relationship the way you are. And you deserve someone who is. Someone who doesn't just talk about caring, but who lives it every single day. In the next part, we're going to dig deeper into why people who don't care will keep making excuses, and how to see through those excuses for what they really are. When someone doesn't truly care about you, they don't just stop showing up. They start making excuses. At first, these excuses might even sound reasonable. They'll tell you they're too busy, that they're overwhelmed, that life has just gotten in the way. And sure, we've all been there. We all have days when everything feels like too much, when we're stretched thin, and when even the simplest tasks seem impossible. But when it's always an excuse, when every missed call, every canceled plan, every broken promise is blamed on something else, that's not about being busy. That's about priorities. That's about where you fit into their life. Because when someone cares, they make time. Even in the middle of their own chaos, they find a moment to let you know you're important. It doesn't have to be hours on the phone or long, drawn-out conversations. It's in the simple messages that say, "I see you. I haven't forgotten about you." But when someone doesn't care, their excuses pile up like bricks in a wall, each one adding another layer of distance between you. It's a pattern that's easy to miss at first. You want to believe the best in people. You want to give them the benefit of the doubt. So when they tell you they're too busy, you understand. When they say they're dealing with something heavy, you offer compassion. But as time goes on, the excuses start to lose their meaning. They start to sound like empty words, like a script they've memorized to keep you at arm's length. And here's the thing, everyone has their own struggles. Everyone has moments when they're overwhelmed, when they're not at their best. But when someone truly cares, they still make room for you. They find ways to show up, even if it's just for a moment, even if it's just to say, "I can't talk long, but I wanted to check in," because caring isn't about convenience. It's about effort. People who don't care will always find a way to justify their absence. They'll tell you they're just so busy, or that they're focused on something else, or that they're dealing with personal things. And while those things might be true, they're not the real reason why they're not making an effort. The real reason is that you're not a priority for them. They don't see you as someone they need to make time for, someone who deserves their attention and their care. It's a painful realization, especially if you've been the one making excuses for them in your own mind. You've told yourself it's just a phase. You've convinced yourself that once things calm down, they'll come back. But deep down, you know the truth. If someone cares, they don't let you wonder where you stand. They don't make you feel like an afterthought. And they certainly don't leave you with a pile of excuses and nothing more. What's even worse is how these excuses can start to wear you down. You begin to doubt your own worth, to wonder if you're asking for too much. You start to feel like maybe you're the problem, like you're too needy, too demanding, too much. But you're not. You're simply asking for what every person deserves, to feel valued, to feel seen, to know that the people in your life care enough to show up. When someone doesn't care, their excuses aren't about you. They're about them, their unwillingness to invest in you, their choice to keep you at a distance, their lack of desire to nurture the relationship. And the hardest part is realizing that no matter how understanding you try to be, no matter how much compassion you offer, you can't change that. You can't force someone to care. You can't make them show up if they don't want to. The more you accept their excuses, the more you're giving them permission to keep treating you this way. You're telling them, with your silence, that it's okay for them to put you last. But it's not okay. It's not okay for someone to treat you like an afterthought. It's not okay for them to leave you hanging, to make you feel like you're asking for too much just because you want them to be there. You deserve someone who doesn't need an excuse to care. Someone who doesn't hide behind "I'm busy" or "I forgot" or "I have too much on my plate." Someone who understands that showing up for the people they care about isn't a burden, it's a choice. And when you realize that, you'll stop accepting the excuses. You'll stop letting someone else's lack of effort define how you feel about yourself. In the next part, we'll talk about the emotional toll this takes on you, how the constant cycle of excuses and disappointments can start to make you question your own worth, and how to protect your heart from the people who don't see your value. The emotional toll of being with someone who doesn't truly care can be devastating. It's not just about the missed messages or the empty promises, it's the way those small letdowns start to eat away at your sense of self. Over time, you find yourself questioning everything: your worth, your importance, even your ability to be loved. Because when someone stops reaching out, when they don't even notice you've stopped trying, it makes you feel invisible. Like you're standing in a crowded room, waving your hands in the air, and no one is looking your way. You start to wonder, what's wrong with me? Why am I not worth the effort? Why do they always have time for everything and everyone else, but never for me? These questions don't just pop up once, they echo in your mind late at night. In those quiet moments when you're alone with your thoughts. You remember all the times you've tried every text, every call, every attempt to keep the relationship alive, and you realize you're the only one who was ever really trying. It chips away at you. Slowly, but surely, it erodes your confidence. It makes you feel like you're always one step behind, like you're never enough no matter how hard you try. And the more you give, the more you reach out, the more you're met with indifference or silence, the smaller you start to feel. It's not just about feeling ignored. It's about feeling like you don't even exist in their world. But here's what you need to remember: just because someone doesn't see your worth doesn't mean it's not there. Their inability to recognize your value doesn't define you. It doesn't change the fact that you're worthy of love, of effort, of someone who doesn't make you question your place in their life. When someone truly cares about you, they don't let you feel like you're alone in the relationship. They won't leave you wondering if you're good enough. They'll find small ways, maybe even the tiniest gestures, to show you that you matter. A quick message to say, "I'm thinking about you." A phone call to hear your voice. An effort to show up when it counts, even if it's just for a moment. That's what care looks like. It's not about the grand gestures. It's about the little things that add up to something real. But when someone doesn't care, you'll find yourself giving and giving, only to feel like you're pouring yourself into an empty vessel. Like no matter how much you give, it's never enough. And that's the painful truth. It's not that you're too much, it's that they're not enough for you. They're not willing or able to give you what you deserve. It's a heartbreaking realization, because for a while, you held on to hope. You told yourself if you just tried harder, if you just gave a little more, maybe they'd see what you see, maybe they'd realize how much you're worth. But the reality is, someone who doesn't care won't change just because you're willing to carry the weight of the relationship. If anything, they'll let you. They'll keep letting you be the one to reach out, to fix things, to hold it all together. Because it's easier for them to let you do the work than to meet you halfway. And that's not fair to you. It's not fair to your heart, your time, your energy. You deserve more than to feel like you're always chasing after someone who doesn't see you. You deserve someone who meets you where you are, someone who doesn't leave you guessing or doubting your worth. Someone who makes the same effort you make, not just when it's convenient, but because they truly want to. If you're feeling drained, if you're feeling like you're the only one giving in a relationship that should be about mutual care and respect, I want you to know this: it's okay to stop. It's okay to stop giving your energy to someone who doesn't even notice. It's okay to protect your peace, to draw a line and say, I'm done with one-sided effort. Because you deserve people in your life who see your value without you having to prove it. You deserve to be met with the same love, care, and energy you give so freely. And when you find those people, those rare, precious souls who show up even when it's hard, you'll realize that real love, real care, doesn't leave you feeling empty. It fills you up in the best possible ways. In the next part, we're going to explore how to recognize when someone is truly invested in you and how to let go of the need to keep proving your worth to others who don't see it. It's a painful cycle, isn't it? You keep hoping that maybe this time they'll show up. Maybe this time they'll be there when you need them. But over and over again, you're left disappointed. Because the truth is, people who don't care about you will only reach out when it's convenient for them. They'll come around when they need something from you, your help, your support, your listening ear, but when the tables turn and it's your turn to lean on them, they're nowhere to be found. It's a one-sided relationship, where you're always the one giving. You're the one making the calls, sending the messages, offering your time and your heart. And they're the ones who only show up when it benefits them. They don't check in because they care about how you're doing, they check in because they want something from you. They see your kindness, your willingness to be there for them, and they take advantage of it. Not in a malicious way, perhaps, but in a way that shows you exactly where you stand. You're not a person they value, you're a resource they use. A safe place they can run to when they need something, but not someone they think about when they're living their own life. And that hurts more than any harsh word or argument. Because it's not just about the absence of effort, it's about the feeling that you're only good enough when they need something from you. Have you ever stopped to notice the pattern? The way they'll reach out when they're struggling, when they need advice, when they're in a tough spot. And because you care, because you're the kind of person who wants to help, you're there. You listen, you offer your shoulder, you give them your time and your energy. But when the roles are reversed, when you're the one who's hurting, when you're the one who needs someone to lean on, it's like you're talking to a brick wall. They're not there. Or worse, they make you feel like you're asking for too much, like your needs are an inconvenience. It's a draining cycle. You start to feel like you're pouring yourself out for someone who doesn't even notice how much you're giving. And the more you give, the emptier you feel. You begin to wonder if you're just being used, if you're just a convenient option rather than someone who truly matters. And let me tell you, if that's how you're feeling, it's not just in your head. It's real. It's hard to admit that someone you care about doesn't feel the same way. It's hard to let go of the hope that maybe, if you just keep giving, they'll finally see your worth. But the truth is, someone who truly cares about you doesn't just show up when they need something. They show up even when there's nothing in it for them. They show up because they want to, because they value you for who you are, not for what you can give them. When someone only reaches out when it's convenient, it's a clear sign that they're not invested in you. And while it's tempting to make excuses for them to tell yourself they're just busy or going through a rough time at some point, you have to face the reality. If you're always the one giving, always the one reaching out, and they're never there when you need them, it's not about busyness or distraction. It's about a lack of care. You deserve relationships that are balanced. You deserve friends, family, and partners who don't just take, but who give back, who see your worth and make an effort to show you that you're not alone. Relationships where you don't have to wonder if you're valued because their actions make it clear. So if you're feeling like you're always the one doing the heavy lifting, it might be time to take a step back. To protect your heart, to guard your energy, and to remember that you are worthy of people who give as much as they take. Because real care isn't about convenience, it's about commitment. When you're stuck in this cycle of one-sided effort, it doesn't just drain your energy, it starts to warp the way you see yourself. You begin to question your own worth, your own ability to be loved and appreciated. You think to yourself, if I'm always the one trying, if I'm always the one giving, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm just too much, too eager, too willing. But let me tell you something, you're not too much. You're just giving your care, your time, and your heart to someone who doesn't have the capacity or the willingness to match it. It's such a subtle kind of heartbreak. Because they're not saying it outright, they're not telling you that you don't matter. But their actions, their patterns, the way they only reach out when it suits them, that says more than any words ever could. It says that your presence is only valuable to them when they need it. That your kindness is something to be tapped into, not cherished. And that realization stings. It makes you feel like you're never enough, no matter how much you give. And here's where it gets even harder. When you start to pull back, when you stop being the one to reach out first, when you decide to see if they'll notice the silence sometimes they don't even realize. Or worse, they twist the situation around. They act like you're the one who doesn't care anymore, like you're the one who stopped trying. But deep down, you know the truth. You know you've given more chances, more patience, more forgiveness than most people ever would. It's a quiet kind of pain to feel like you're the only one fighting for something that should be shared. To feel like you're always holding the door open, but no one's willing to walk through it. And with every unanswered message, every canceled plan, every time you're left feeling like an afterthought, the message becomes clearer. This is not what you deserve. You deserve relationships that aren't built on what you can do for someone else. You deserve connections that don't leave you feeling like a convenience. Because when someone truly values you, they'll show it. They'll make time, even in the smallest ways. They'll reach out to you because they want to hear your voice, not because they want something from you. They'll care about your day, your worries, your hopes, not just their own. And when you finally see this truth, when you finally stop accepting the crumbs of effort they give you, you start to realize just how much more you deserve. You deserve people who celebrate your presence, not just tolerate it. Who show up for you, not just when it's easy, but when it matters. Who give without expecting anything in return because they value you, not just what you can offer them. So if you're feeling that drain, if you're feeling like you're carrying the weight of someone else's disinterest, I want you to remember this. Your energy is precious. Your time, your love, your kindness, these are gifts. They're not things to be wasted on people who don't know how to receive them with the same care and respect you offer. It's okay to step back. It's okay to stop giving so much of yourself to someone who can't or won't meet you halfway. It's not selfish. It's not cruel. It's self-preservation. And it's the first step in finding relationships that fill you up instead of leaving you feeling empty. In the next part, we'll look even deeper at how this constant imbalance can damage your sense of self and how to find the courage to finally walk away from people who only show up when it's convenient. For them, there's a harsh but undeniable truth we all face at some point: people who don't care about you will never take responsibility for how they treat you. They'll twist things around, making you feel like you're the one at fault, like you're too demanding, too sensitive, or too much. It's a form of emotional manipulation that can leave you second-guessing your own feelings, your own memories, even your own reality. When someone doesn't care, they'll do everything they can to avoid owning up to their behavior. They'll make excuses, they'll point fingers, and they'll minimize the impact of their actions. Instead of acknowledging how their silence or inconsistency hurts you, they'll act like you're the one with the problem. They'll tell you you're overreacting. They'll make you feel like you're asking for too much, even when all you're asking for is the basic kindness and respect every person deserves. And the hardest part is, over time, you start to believe them. You start to internalize the idea that maybe you are too much. That maybe you're the one who needs to change, to shrink yourself down to be more acceptable, more convenient. But let me tell you this, you're not too much. You're not too demanding. You're not asking for anything unreasonable. You're asking for the care and consideration that should come naturally in any relationship, friendship, family, or love. It's easy to get caught in their web, to feel like you're the one who has to do all the fixing, the forgiving, the excusing. But that's not your burden to carry. When someone doesn't care about you, they'll keep crossing your boundaries over and over again because they don't respect them. And if you let them, they'll keep making you feel like you're the problem, even when it's their behavior that's at the root of everything. Here's the truth: you don't have to keep explaining why you deserve to be treated with care. You don't have to keep lowering your standards just to keep someone in your life. The moment you see the pattern, the excuses, the manipulation, the emotional distance, that's when you have a choice to make. You can keep giving to someone who will never give back. Or you can walk away. You can choose to protect your heart, your peace, and your sense of self-worth. I know it's hard. I know it hurts to let go of someone you care about, even if they've never truly cared about you. You've invested so much of your time, your heart, your energy, and it feels like giving up means admitting it was all for nothing. But it wasn't for nothing. Every effort you made, every ounce of care you gave, it was a testament to your kindness and your capacity to love. That says more about you than it ever did about them. What you need to remember is that your worth isn't defined by how others treat you. It's defined by how you see yourself, by the way you choose to honor your needs, your feelings, and your boundaries. You deserve people in your life who don't just show up when it's easy, but who show up because they see your value and want to be part of your life. People who don't make you question your worth, who don't twist your words or make you feel like you're too much. People who see you, truly see you, and love you for exactly who you are. It's not about holding out for perfection. No one is perfect. We all make mistakes. But real care means owning up to those mistakes. It means showing up, even when it's hard. It means having the humility and the compassion to say, "I'm sorry," and to mean it. And when someone can't do that, when someone refuses to take responsibility for their actions, that's your sign. That's your permission to step away. You are not here to be someone's afterthought. You are not here to be someone's backup plan or emotional convenience. You are here to live a life that is full of love, of connection, of relationships that nourish you as much as you nourish them. So don't settle for anything less. As you move forward, I want you to carry this with you: you are enough, just as you are. You don't need to chase anyone who doesn't see your value. You don't need to keep proving yourself to people who will never appreciate what you have to offer. The right people, the ones who truly care, will never make you feel like you're too much. They'll never make you feel like you're asking for too much. They'll see your heart, your loyalty, your kindness, and they'll cherish it. So take a moment now to breathe. To let go of the weight you've been carrying for people who wouldn't carry it for you. To trust that you deserve better and that better is out there. And most importantly, to remember that you are not defined by someone else's inability to care. You define yourself. You choose the kind of love you accept, the kind of energy you welcome, the kind of people you allow into your heart. The next time you find yourself feeling unseen or undervalued, pause and remember this: you are worthy of love that doesn't make you question your worth. You are worthy of care that doesn't come with conditions. And you are worthy of relationships that build you up, not ones that tear you down. Let this be the start of a new chapter, a chapter where you stop chasing people who won't show up, and start embracing the love that you truly deserve. Because you are worthy. And you always have been. If you found these words resonating deep within you, if you felt that sting of being taken for granted, of giving so much and receiving so little, I want you to know you're not alone. And I want you to remember that your story isn't over. You have the power to choose where your energy goes and who gets the privilege of your presence. So, take a moment right now to reflect on the relationships in your life. Who shows up for you? Who makes you feel seen, heard, and valued? And who leaves you feeling like an afterthought? It's time to draw that line. To protect your heart. To honor your worth. If you're ready to take back your energy and focus on what truly matters, on the people who lift you up and love you for who you are, then I invite you to join this journey with me. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we're going to keep exploring how to build healthy connections, set boundaries, and find the kind of love and friendship that doesn't leave you feeling empty. And don't forget to like this video if it spoke to you, and share it with someone who needs to hear these words today. Let's create a space where we remind each other that we are enough, exactly as we are. Drop a comment below and let me know, have you ever felt stuck in a one-sided relationship? How did you reclaim your peace? Your story could be the light someone else needs. Remember, this is your time. You deserve to be surrounded by people who see your light and reflect it right back to you. Keep showing up for yourself, keep choosing you, and keep believing that real, lasting care is out there, because it is. And so are you. Thank you for your listening. Goodbye. And see you in the next video.